Oh, fuck. There we go. Ugh. Hey, it's James from survivalpunk.com. Good morning. It is 46 degrees. I'm really hoping that most of this chilliness is done. I am not a big fan of the cold. More so now that today we're going to talk about shrinkflation, some of the things that are really making food not as good of a value, and how we're getting screwed over in our daily lives. Some of the worst offenders, what you can do. My point about the cold was whatever this health thing I have going on, I really don't like the cold anymore. It seems to agitate my symptoms. Like the cold kind of makes me like stiff and in pain, whereas heat does the opposite. I go spend like 30 minutes in the sauna at the gym, and I feel like a normal human for a little while. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that today. The doctor's appointment is in a few weeks, and maybe they'll be like, you know what? Shit, I know exactly what this is. We deal with this all the fucking time, bro. This is what you got to do. Because much like a car, I am tired of throwing random bullshit at this problem. Anyway, before we get into all of this, let's take a listen to our morning theme music. And we're back. So, shrinkflation. I don't know when this term was coined, but I like it. I mean, I hate it. I hate shrinkflation, but it's a good term that very accurately describes companies making the food packaging contain a smaller amount of that food, while simultaneously leaving the packaging basically the same. So as inflation gets bad and prices are going up, something that companies are doing is to keep their profit margins high and to keep customer complaints fairly low. What they did was their, say, 16-ounce bag of chips. Yes, a pound. Their pound of chip bags is in the same form factor. You know, if you pick up a new bag and hold it next to the old bag, functionally, it's going to look exactly the same. However, they have reduced the actual ounces in it. So instead of 16 ounces per se, it is now like 14.5 ounces. And they keep the price of the product the same. So they're giving you less product while keeping the price the same instead of raising the price, because price creep absolutely affects people's, like, there's kind of some degree, and working in retail, I see this on a fairly like day in day out basis. I know a bunch of these things, and being a consumer myself, like all of you, I see these things. If I don't need something and I see the price has gone up, it absolutely, and I'm like, do I need this? In my brain, there are set prices of what I think things should cost. And as things deviate from that price, as they deviate from that price and they get further away from the value that I believe that product is, I will decide to buy it less often or less of it or a competitor. I am I am almost completely not brand loyal. The only I have worn Old Spice deodorant for 20 years probably. Yeah, probably 20 years. Honestly, I would be pretty devastated. um, I don't I don't keep up with the last things, but if Old Spice came out with just next level fucking woke marketing, I might be pretty mad about it, right? Um, who was it? Was it Barbasol that came out with that tranny shaving commercial? Just know your fucking audience, people. And for the most part, I honestly feel like the best thing to do with politics is to shut your fucking mouth, right? It's just, there's just, with a fucking shaving razor, I don't need to know what you feel politically. I need to know you will remove the hair from my face. That's it. Bringing anything else in, you may think that by doing this, oh, I can absolutely grab all the people that like me and virtue signal, and that is not generally what's going to happen. You will probably offend everybody, and the people that you're virtue signaling to most of the time aren't even using your fucking product. Did you guys see that Budweiser commercial with the baby eagle and was it a horse? I give it to him for trying, but man, that was bad. Especially coming from a company that historically was known for having good commercials. To do that, that was a terrible idea. Anyway, oh, am I doing massively under the speed limit? There are policia on the road. Hopefully my headlights are not jacked up and they won't whip out of here and pull me over, because I am not in the mood for that. And that guy did pull out. Ugh. Maybe I'll pull over and get gas. Ugh. Anyway, shrinkflation. So, companies are screwing us over, and they are making smaller packaging and trying to say it's the same packaging. What can you do? Well, there's a lot of things. Some things have absolutely been hit much harder. Potato chips are a pretty big offender. I feel like sodas, Cokes have been hit real hard. I don't know if you guys are drinkers of Cokes. I am. I know they're probably not the best and the most healthy thing, but I don't care, right? I've tried to quit Cokes on many occasions to some degree, and I usually come back. I'm just going to be satisfied with drinking less. Surely this guy is not going to be following me all the way to work. I do need gas, and I can absolutely stop and get gas. And I probably will stop and get gas. Nobody wants a cop following them their entire way to work. And we're back. I did not get gas. I pulled up to the gas pump, but the gas pump wasn't working. So whatever, the cop went by. Potato chips are hit hard. Cokes are hit real hard. Like I was saying, there's absolutely prices in my head that I feel like Cokes should cost. And the further they get from that cost, the less likely I am to buy them. I will absolutely buy off-brand or whatever. Preferably, I would drink Coke Zero. But I will drink off-brand, right? Kroger's here in the South has a knockoff Coke Zero brand, Cola O Zero or some shit. It's acceptable. Kroger's also has crazy deals on Cokes. If you are a drinker of Coke products or Pepsi, doesn't matter. If you're a drinker of sodas and you have to buy them, obviously, Kroger's will oftentimes have fucking insane deals that makes them worth buying, right? I will go out of my way a lot of times just to buy Cokes at Kroger's. And I'm talking like buy 2, get 3 free. Yes, I know. I work in retail. Those buy 1, get 1 type deals tend to be bullshit and whatnot. However, a lot of times, though, it's also just get you in the door incentives, right? If you ever see a buy 1, get 1 or a buy 2, get deal, right? So buy 2, get 3, buy 2, get 2. It doesn't matter, right? Whatever that is, and you're trying to decide, is this actually good or is it just gimmicky bullshit? You just run the unit price math on it, right? If it's $9.97, I'm shitty at math. Let's say it's $10 a 12 pack, right? It's $10 a 12 pack and it's buy 2, get 3 free. So it means you have to spend $20. That's your buy-in to this game here. It's $20, but you get 5 drinks. Divide 20 by 5, which, and I'm doing math at like 3 in the morning. That should make it around $4 a 12 pack. That's your unit cost. You divide the total cost by the number of units you're getting. That's your unit cost. So around $4 a Coke is actually a good deal, and what I believe in my heart to be much closer to what they should cost anyway. I really feel like a 12 pack should be like $3.50 or so, $3, $3.50. The closer you can get to that, the better. So that's what I'm saying, though. I said the price was $10. I rounded up. I routinely, looking at prices, see $9.97 as a price for a 12 pack. $9.97, ridiculous. $9.97 is not a price that Coke should ever be. That is how broken the system. No, to my knowledge, I have not seen them reducing the amount of volume of liquid inside the cans, but also I haven't looked, and they could get away with it so easy. Nobody would think to look at the volume inside of the can. It's supposed to be what, like 12 ounces? Yes, a can is 12 ounces. I'm going to look when I get to work and see if they have done shenanigans and reduced it to like, I don't know, 11.5 or something. So anyway, that's another thing. Meat has gone up just in inflation, right? Meat has just gone through the fucking ceiling. And basically every meat. A tip real quick. If you have a Walmart around you and you shop at Walmart, in their meat section, they have, not every Walmart, obviously every store is different, but my Walmart has a 50-50 ground beef, ground pork blend. And a 1 pound chub of that is like under $4. Also, in my heart, I feel like 1 pound of ground beef should be in like the $3 range. I think I can recall it being like I think I can recall it being somewhere in the dollar range as well, like $1.50, $1.87. I feel like in my lifetime I have seen ground beef in that range, but I'm not going to swear to. I know I have in my 43 44 years of life, I'm absolutely sure I've seen ground beef at some point under $2. But anyway, what can you do? There's a lot of offenders out there. Like I said, with that, buying the 50-50 the macros on it are pretty good. It comes out to being 80-20 for $3, which is a fantastic deal. Otherwise, ground beef, because I tend not to buy the 73-27 anymore. It's just too much fat, and I'm not eating the fat, counting calories, obviously. I'd much rather, I start at 80-20. There are occasions where I'll buy the extra lean just because the calories on that thing are fantastic anyway. And you're not paying for the fat that you're not going to eat anyway. So, staple items that we talk about all the time that are good for your health, those haven't been really hit as bad, right? Meat is kind of the tough one. You gotta figure that one out, right? I've been thinking how I can get some liver in me. Liver is cheap, but with my possible iron deficiency, I've been thinking, so one of my ideas was to buy frozen beef liver and basically just chop off pieces small enough that I could just swallow like a pill and not eat it. So that's or you know what? It's not bad really if you cut it with ground beef. So maybe I thought about making like a ground beef liver pate to eat with my rice that I eat at work. Anyway, eggs went from being a super cheap, super great, very healthy diet staple and hero to being like a fluctuating floozy. You never know, right? Like, I think right now eggs are okay price-wise. They're not like they have been insane, but back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, good Lord, how long have I been podcasting? Probably 10 years. 10 years ago, I would be like, man, eggs are the way to go. You should always have eggs in your fridge. I still try to always have eggs in my fridge. But now it's not as good. Anyway, I can tell you that the price of plain oats hasn't really skyrocketed. Yeah, they're more expensive, but the amount you get is well worth it. Basically, anything that's closer to an ingredient has a little bit of like padding, right? So like big tubs of oatmeal, pretty fine. Bags of flour, not going to break the bank, as opposed to snacks. And the further you get away from bulk, right? If you're looking at a single serve item, it is going to be astronomical. There's so many times where you'll look at something and you're like, well, I only really want like 2 cookies or something. But the price for like 2 cookies is almost equal to like an entire bag. So there you go. And then if you look at like if you unit price what it would cost to bake cookies from scratch, you're well into like the super profit ROI here. So, shrinkflation is absolutely real. This would probably be saying that the on a scale, right? So if you have single serve on one end of the scale and like just super bulk on the other end, the closer you get to that bulk side, the better your actual unit price will be. That's almost always the case. You know what? I might have an idea to talk about, and I may end up breaking that into its own thing, right? So honestly, I think in some of these things there is a great use case for group buys. There's my low fuel light just came on, and I'm thinking about this because I've been doing some group buys with the peptides that I buy, where the prices coming from China are fantastic. The issue tends to be you have to factor in the shipping cost. Shipping costs can be like as high as $90 to ship something from China, and if you're spending like $90 to $100, and then you're doubling that price with shipping, some of these things, I've ran the numbers, it still makes more sense to pay $90 in shipping than to buy domestically, which is crazy. However, you get a couple buddies together, or online friends, and you split that shipping between them. It just goes so much more valuable. Same thing. Maybe you're group buying bulk items and then you're splitting it up. That is going to be a whole show. I love that idea, especially on things like I've talked to my buddy Catch Potato Mike about just splitting, buying like I've talked to him about splitting a cow, right? We don't have the freezer space for it, but buying like not a side of beef, like buying an uncut primal from a cow, like a chuck roll or a whole ribeye or something like that. And then splitting it because your price goes so down. That's an idea. But this has been James from StrongPunk.com. DIY to survive, you guys.
Tonight, through the dark and light, we'll keep the fire bright.